What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mindful Reality TV from a mental health perspective. Mindful Chatter. This is something that I brought to the table last season when we got to a point in the season where it was boring and there was nothing going on. Now, I know some of y'all will want to say, but Mark, you're going to call the season boring when you were just talking about how interesting it is because you said that it's better without Tucker, and Tucker brought all this entertainment value. Let me clarify. I'm still glad that Tucker is gone, but this is kind of the business end of the game. That's what I always call it. Like the beginning part of the game is a part where everything is fast and furious. There's all these different people trying to make a name for themselves, all the people that are like, I'm going to be the greatest Big Brother player of all time, and I'm going to make the big moves, and I'm going to make the biggest splash on this show ever. I'm going to be Dr. Will. I'm going to be Janelle. Like all those people are interesting to watch. Don't get me wrong, but this is like there's always going to be a lull part in the Big Brother game, and I think it usually happens right around jury, and then all the sparks are really, to me, like final five or six or so. That's really when everything gets really, really interesting for me. I know some people love the beginning part, but I love the ending. Big Brother is a long, long game, many, many days. Hey, Vicky. Hello, Janet. Um, I've been kind of watching today on and off, but I don't think that too much interesting things have happened today. I mean, they've just been having various discussions about the three people who are on the block. But one thing that I heard today that I wasn't hearing previously is that some people, MJ and Chelsea, were talking about being in consideration to take out Rubina. And I was like, wow, I didn't even think that Rubina would be an option for anybody, but apparently she is from some of the conversations that I've seen. Thanks to y'all who watched my previous video. It's at 200 views. The views are picking up, I must say. So I appreciate everybody for joining my lives. Hi, Ma. I've started to make them more frequent, but I also know that for whatever reason, when the Big Brother season starts, the views are little, and then as the season picks up, the views pick up, and then the season is over. And then it's off season. It's 9 months of off season, except for last season because then we got the gift of reindeer games. Hi, Mary. Yes, get the likes up. Janet, you have found me, by the way, because I think the first couple of weeks or so of the season, you were always getting there either right at the end or you were only there in my comment section, but you have found several of my lives lately. I am doing more lives than I used to, though. I mean, not that I used to, because I used to do lives every day, but I'm doing more lives than I started doing, which I kind of assumed would happen. I thought that early on this season, based on my work schedule and just based on my life schedule, I would only do lives once or twice a week, which I did. And I figured that once the season got into the more interesting parts for me, that I would be sacrificing more of my time for that. What does that even mean? You mean like, you know what? I might understand what you mean, Mary, because when I'm thinking about last season of BB Can, I actually like the things they do in the house. I like the games they give them to do in the house. I like the competitions in the BB Can house. I like Arissa, like I feel like they're always coming up with new ideas. I feel like this US version of Big Brother is just complacent, where they're like, we're gonna do the same thing every year, and y'all are just gonna like it just because. Chelsea Cam needs to stop giving MJ attention unless he just wants to have MJ instead of Chelsea, because that's where it's gonna end off. Maybe that's what he wants, or maybe he doesn't care. Like some of the people were saying earlier on my other live. Check that one out, by the way. Maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he's just having a good time. Shout out to my dogs at the crib. I'm about to delete this comment that I see. I forgot. Bang. Not a comment on this live, but another comment I was reading on my other video. I don't know where these people come from. I know Arissa's the best. Arissa is the best. She has so much personality. Um, who do I want to leave, Janet? Oh, let me go back to this comment. Who do I want to leave? Oh, before I answer that, I need to make sure to post this live. Give me 1 second. You know what? Hi, Patty. Oh, we got the trio in the building. We got the original trio in the building. Okay, who do I want to go? I want Chemo to go. Yes, I do. I do want Chemo to go. And my reasons for wanting Chemo to go is for entertainment reasons, because T-Core would be pissed and we might get T-Core's revenge. She would be surprised. It might be kind of a blindside, honestly. Let's see. Um, yeah, he keeps laying in their laps. Yeah, I don't know what Cam is a lap cat. He's a lap cat, I guess. Yeah, she was. Joseph needs to go. Rubina, send her to Tucker. They're talking about Rubina now, though. They're putting her there in the conversation. Mark, Janet, and Ma. The icons have returned. Hey, Patty, I sent you a post today. Did you see it? I'm really posting up this personal conversation on my live. Janet, she would not have her nighttime buddy talks. So what are you guys talking about? We're talking about Big Brother. Actually, I haven't even talked about the topic yet because I didn't even know anyone would be on. But surprisingly, when I get on here at midnight my time, people are hopping on. My sleep schedule has been weird lately. I took a long nap again at about 4:30 Eastern, and then I woke up maybe close to 7 o'clock. And I ran 5K, and then I came back. I finished some work that I was supposed to do way earlier before my nap. And then I went on Big Brother Bry's channel. Shout out to him. He's on now. Uh, and then after I was done, I jumped over here. And after this, I'm going to bed. Probably not. I'm probably not going to bed, but I'll be off here for a little bit. Then I'll go to bed. I just want to see who's here. Hey, YTC. T-Core is who I'm talking about. Ever since Cam said, yeah, he'd kiss Leah and marry Chelsea, her mind has changed about him. When was that? Was it they played a game of marry F kill? Is that what they did? Because I missed that. I think she'd like a relationship with him else. Yeah, for sure. But he needs to stop with that, as I said in my earlier live. Joseph scares me in the sense he is not able to recognize how good Chelsea is. He's a dummy for that. Chelsea is playing the hell out of this game. Chelsea is playing this game so well right now. So who was the third person in this game, Veronica? Because you mentioned Leah and Chelsea. Who was the third person? Now, yeah, who was the third person? I'm interested to know. I'm leaning towards putting Quinn on the block. I like Quinn. Some people say they don't like Quinn, but I like Quinn. And at first, I not that didn't like Quinn. I liked Quinn from the beginning, but then I was like, he's doing too much. But doing too much feels like his natural personality for some weird reason. That's what happens to me with these house guests. When I'm feeling them out early on and I'm trying to figure out what they're about, I'm like, oh, this person is strange. This person is dumb. I don't like this guy. I don't like this lady. But then after so many days go by and I've heard many different conversations and I've just seen them in different scenarios, I start to like them more or dislike them more, depending on who it is. Angela. So Angela, that's just wrong to even put her in that game. That is just wrong. I get the feeling Cam is just kicking back and enjoying the women's attention. I mean, he probably gets that a lot, honestly. That's probably his life. Kick back and people stroke his hair and people just walk up to, like I feel like he's the type that doesn't ever work to get somebody. So this Chelsea thing is new to him. Like, wait, I have to do something to get women? I thought I could just stand there or lean back in my chair and they just come to me. Yeah, me neither. What's up, Jason? Welcome. Long time no see. Yeah, Quinn is quirky. My most recent post was just an hour ago, and I just checked. Yeah, she's talking about a new post, Patty. Yeah. No, I'm not sleeping. Who would everyone put on the block if they were HOH? I do not want to kiss anyone in the house. I like Quinn, but he stopped doing what super fans always do. Corey Whataburger or Kevin Martin. Kevin Martin. Are you from Canada, Mary? Or do you just like BB Can? T-Core, Chelsea, and Chemo. Oh, I don't like your list, Jason. I put Joseph, Chemo, and Leah on the block. Joseph, Chemo, and Leah. Yeah, those are three people I wouldn't mind being on the block, actually. Joseph, Chemo, and Leah. She is. Shout out to my dogs at the crib. I was actually watching what's it called? Royalty. I think it's called Royalty Podcast, the one with Big D, Hannah, and Tiffany. And Tiffany was like, if I were ever to go back on Big Brother, I'd probably just do that too instead of calling everybody's names. I would be like, shout out to my dogs at the crib, and my dogs would just know who they are. He's really committed to saying that every week. I bet you if he got to like week the second to last week of the game or something, he'd be like, James, Jessica, Alyssa, Jenny. Like what I was thinking of was Big D when every week he was like, I sadly to a vote this person. I sadly to a vote that person. I sadly to a vote. And he was saying this every week. And at first, Julie was like, "Do you mean you vote to evict?" And he was like, "Yes, I to a vote this person." And then when it came down to Kyland, if you go back and watch that video, that's the only week that he said it properly. And that was the week that he had the sole vote. And it was probably the most important week in the game. He was like, what did he say? I owe nobody anything in this game. I sadly vote to evict Kyland. And I was like, oh my goodness. Chelsea's gonna win it all. I hope she does. No, I wasn't talking about your English. I just meant because you liked BB Can. Leah, Angela, or Quinn on my block. Oh, hey, Natalie. You joined me. It's at Janet. Who would you put on the block? It's nice when you come onto your chats and see names you recognize. Where everybody knows your name. And we're always glad you came. I would put Chemo, Joseph, Quinn, and T-Core. You would add a fourth person. Janet just hates everybody. Bang, 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 bang. She's like, this is my Tucker revenge tour. I wonder what the dogs of the crib think of Cam's game so far. Well, he's exerting the least energy. If any of you watch Survivor, Cam is playing the Gabler game right now. Cam is Gabler of Big Brother. Remember on Survivor, for anyone who's a Survivor fan, when everyone else was like looking for idols and just making fire and doing all this different stuff, and then Gabler was like, he was just like, oh, I'm just gonna lay down and sleep. uh Shout out to Bob in particular. That is all. If he gets that far, you can't put up four. I love how unaware Cam is of everything. No more putting up three people, right? I think that's going to be done after this week. I really do. I think this is going to be the last week of that. And then I think next week is going to be the double evict. I hope, anyways. My favorite is Chelsea. I already said that, but people can tell me in the comments who their favorites are. Needs to stay consistent until the very end. Shout out to my dogs at the crib. He's going to say that right before he takes the 750K, right? Um, I'm watching the challenge. You know that. That's my show. That's my number one. That's my main squeeze. Sorry, big brother. And we're on season 40 and we got all the legends back. Well, except for my guy Wes. I'm so disappointed, but I understand. New baby, his show that he does himself is kind of popping. Didn't have the time. But he will be on what's it called? House of Villains season 2 in October. Looking forward to there's so many good things happening in October, like my birthday and other things. I mean, my birthday is the main one, but there's so many good things popping off in October. I hate my typos because in Spanish I'm so much you don't write that badly in English though. If I was trying to write in Spanish, it would be much, much worse. Much worse. And he won. It's a different game though. That was painful to watch everyone get eliminated with an idol. Brooklyn was fighting for her life. Cam's speech. He's just like, hey y'all, I'm here. If you want to vote to keep me, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Shout out to my dogs at the crib. He had no urgency sitting on the block. No urgency on the block. You know you just put that on Google Translator. We are running at people to put on the block. Running, what is it? You mean running out of people? Happy birthday. It is fire this year. Once a week does Big Brother has spoiled me so much that once a week doesn't feel like enough for the challenge. It does not. And honestly, I've enjoyed generally. There's exceptions to every rule, but I have generally enjoyed meeting the challenge people much more than the Big Brother people and the Survivor people. I can't explain it, but some of these people get right off the show and you meet them and you're talking to them and they're acting like they're the biggest stars. And you're sitting here like, are you going to be relevant in 6 months? No shade, but seriously, Wes isn't on the challenge because, yeah, he had just had his daughter and he didn't have the time in his schedule for it. Wes actually said in an interview on my channel prior to this season, way before season 40 was filmed, that he was probably going to retire. I think my channel was actually the first channel he said it on, and I posted it. But when he said it, for some reason, I'm like, Wes is not going to really retire. Not that he said that he's not officially retired, but he said it would take a lot for him to ever come back. And he said that they would have to tell him 6 months in advance, and they're just not doing that. I'm so mad that Tony took out Leroy before he quit, basically. Libras. You bet I am. Oh, that's probably referring to your four on the block comment. Mark is about to get dustier on October 2nd. Libras for the win. You know what? They were like, we need somebody who is the opposite of Jared and Monty. They were looking for that. I'm convinced. I'm convinced. They were like, we want to maintain our diversity rule that we have now, but we want it to be somebody that we don't have to worry about making problematic comments. So then Kim was like, shout out to my dogs at the crib. And they were like, that's the guy. I'm here and seats down. Here am I supposed to stay? Oh, it's your birthday? Oh, I thought you were just saying that. Happy birthday, Mary. Oh, it's my friend's birthday also. What is Chelsea saying to the camera? Is it worth turning on? I would love for Chelsea to win. I've been rooting for Chelsea. I've been rooting for Chelsea from early. Like she was my favorite for this season. I always have like a favorite. Um, I'm wondering how Bananas will do in Horacio. I'll have to catch the rest on replay. Ed is early morning crew now. Good night, Ed. Janet trying to outdo me with the happy birthday. Hey, Nash. Y'all have all been hopping over here. Appreciate that. Again, shout out to Big Brother Bry. I've been hopping on his channel. I've enjoyed his channel. I think I've been on there for about a week, maybe. How far in advance do they tell them? He's Wes says like I think Wes said they tell them like 2 months in advance, and then he said even that is not a guarantee that they'll get on the show unless they're one of the big names, and obviously it's most likely guaranteed. But a lot of them are alternates. Probably, probably. You heard Julie. You have such a bright future on CBS. I don't know, but he is. I mean, he has a win under his belt, and neither of them do. Libras, let's go. Who are the Libras that are in here? Who's a Libra in the chat? Oh, it was last week. What day last week, Mary? That's what Chelsea is doing. Yeah, hit the like button, please. Stay ready so you don't gotta get ready. The shoe take West forever. Thanks, CT. The shoe to the face from CT to West. Tucker will be on the challenge. Me? When is your birthday, Veronica? Oh, you got October 8th. I knew you were a Libra, Patty. I remember that. I remember you saying that before. Mark has Libra aura. October 8th, so you're like 6 days after me. October 11th, 9:30. Oh, you're right before me. I have a couple friends whose birthdays are 9:30. Actually, one is 9:30 and one is 9:29. Why does my Paramount Plus want to keep freezing on me tonight? Well, probably because I'm using my phone. Uh, no Libra here. When's yours, Janet? Okay, so I'm half an hour and I haven't even spoken on the actual thing that I titled this. So because I know I'm not going to be on here that much longer, my thoughts on the Big Brother season so far, I was thinking of the season compared to last season. So last season started out really fast. If y'all remember, there was just so many different alliances. There was Cerise stirring the pot. There was Izzy running all over the house, doing all this stuff for Cerise approval. There was, I don't know if at this point of the season, the two showmances had kicked off yet, but we had two showmances. But then we had a few things that were momentum killers. We had Zombie Week. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, we had Zombie Week and we had Jag coming back into the house, and then we had Luke and what Luke said, and all of those things were like for one of them it was the feeds were just cut for a long time. For another one, it was like the week reset because oh, we get Zombie Week. They're gonna play all these competitions to see who's worthy to come back in the game. But really, it was just having all the same house guests in the house for the week and one of them staying for another whatever week and then one of them going home. I agree. I agree that this season is way better than last season. I totally agree. Five Libras, including Mark. I love Suri. I love Survivor. Survivor is coming soon. The new season of Survivor is coming September 18, which is in 2 weeks from today, if you're on the East Coast. 2 weeks from today. I'm considering whether going to the premiere party for Survivor. I think I've gone to what, two? No, I've only gone to one premiere party for Survivor. I went to two finale parties. No, I went to two premiere parties. But the thing is, I have only been watching Survivor for even shorter than I've been watching Big Brother. So I go into those and there's only a few people I know. I remember the first one I went to, I was walking around like tapping people's shoulders. I was like, oh, who's this one? Who's that one? And then I would go on YouTube and watch a little clip of their season and them on their season, and then that's how I would know who they were somewhat. Oh, I already got to this comment. Okay. Um, yeah, I know Xavier's on that. I have not watched it yet. I've heard mixed things about it. I plan to watch it eventually, but I have not watched it yet. New York City. I mean, they have so many of these in New York City. They have them in other places too, like Survivor and Big Brother. They have like tours where they do watch parties. But all of these come to New York. So I have never really left New York for any of these. The only time that I was at any of these show parties outside of New York was right here. It was in Philly. There was like a challenge party in Philly a couple of years ago. Olivia was there. Um, who else was there? Olivia, Jack, if you remember Laurel's friend, Jack. Um, Anissa was there. Mark Long was there. Yeah, Derek was there. Derek was there. Derek Kaczynski. But I'm not, I would not really travel out for one of those things. They have one in Florida. Jason, I don't know if you watched the challenge. So, um, they have this thing called Hearts of Reality, which I think is a charity thing that they have every year towards the end of the year, where they have all these different people from all these different reality TV shows. And I think they have it in, I can't remember which part of Florida. I almost want to say Orlando. And I know people who fly out there and they meet everybody. They meet everyone from all these shows. It's not just like one show, it's a huge combination of shows. But I'm not at the point of fandom where I would fly out for that. Yeah, they have Philly, but they also have California. I know they have LA. I know LA is a spot they have a lot of those parties. And I've heard the LA ones are different than the New York ones for sure, which doesn't surprise me because I've been to LA now, and LA is different from here. Yeah, Survivor is in 2 weeks. No, they're actually shifting. The Survivor time is staying the Survivor time. Big Brother time is the thing that's going to be shifting because Big Brother has been starting late. I mean, Big Brother season has been starting later because it used to be like Big Brother is the summer show and then Survivor comes right after that. But in the last couple of seasons, Big Brother has been airing at the same time as Survivor. So they have been keeping Survivor in that 8 o'clock slot. and then moving Big Brother to a later slot. So I think that Big Brother, when Survivor starts, moves to 9 on Wednesdays. I believe so. I have to double check on that. Sapphire is oh, I didn't even notice your comment. Hey Sapphire. Um I like Traders. I didn't love last season of the Traders, but it was okay. I loved season 1 of the Traders US. And I loved the Traders Canada because I saw that season. I was rooting for Kuzi though. I was disappointed in Kuzi as a trader. Yeah, it's kind of like Reality Con. And actually, that's how they make challenge events. Challenge events are a little bit like that. Survivor events and Big Brother events are you just go to the bar and that's it. They're there in the bar. There's no kind of they don't really do much of anything. There you can just walk around and they're in there and you just pull them aside unless you're willing to pay for those expensive VIP tickets. There's people who pay over $300 for the Big Brother premiere parties to be able to they have like a the place that they've been doing the parties for the last couple of years, they have like an upstairs section and there's people who pay like maybe 300 to $350 to be able to go up there with the cast and watch the episode. It's not that serious to me. If the cast is in the building, I'll find them when I find them and I'll pay my $40 ticket versus paying $350 so we can watch the show upstairs and take shots together. I mean, if we're talking about I'm not even gonna say too much because I know people clip my channel as they do with all content creators, so I'll leave it at that. I will leave it at that. Thanks for the announcement, Ma. Oh, that was 3 minutes ago, so we got 2 minutes left. Hope school is going well. Okay. Oh, so that's not even how you spell your name, Sapphire? The deceit. Yeah, I tried to get. I attempted to get into Love Island. I cannot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Patty. That's the one thing that I can't force myself to watch. Actually, Patty, I believe you were one of the people that told me, "Hey, you should check out Survivor," if I remember correctly. So I checked out Survivor because of this page. Well, not because of this page, actually, because of the other page. Yeah, I learned that the hard way. As I said on Bry's channel, I learned that the hard way. They do love clipping things. So I don't want to make the cast not like me. So I'm not even gonna say what I was gonna say. 2 minutes left of my yeah, I remember you asking me at the end of the Big Brother season, like, hey, what other shows do you watch? And I was like, at this moment, it's just Big Brother and the Challenge when it comes to reality TV. And then since then, I did start watching Survivor. I watched The Mole, I watched The Circle. What else? The Traders, House of Villains. I watched The Goat, which is a dumb show. I'm sorry. I mean, it was decent filler for when nothing else was on, but if anything else was on, I would not have been watching The Goat. Um, Hold on, I'm trying to scroll up. The comments are coming fast today. I was into Naked and Afraid. I always thought that was funny. I have seen that once. I wouldn't say Patty got me into Survivor, but Patty was one of the people who mentioned it. I think a few people mentioned it, but yeah, Patty was one of them. I liked the seasons of The Circle that I saw. I did not like the most recent season of The Circle. I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't even finish it. Good night, Ma. That I don't know. Jacqueline, who's been on this channel a few times, is claiming that she was on Naked and Afraid. And I keep being like, send me an email. It's like, tell me about it. Give me an interview if that happened. Naked and Afraid is so boring, but so good. Wow. Excuse me. Late Night Live. Yep. That's a lot of what I watch. Have you tried the last season of Love Island USA? Guarantee you will like it. Really? What was so good about it? And if I check it out, Sapphire, and I don't like it, you know that I know where to find you. My older sister's into Love Island. Love Island. Is Love Island the one that Cinco and Cache were on? Is that Love Island? Or is that something else? They came from Love Island, right? Or is it another show that I'm thinking of? Love Island sucks when they stay together at the end just for money. Yeah, that's the show. Yeah, so that's the season that I tried to watch because I'm like, I know who Cash and Cinco are from. Well, I've met both of them. Funny enough, I've spoken to Cash several times. She lives in New York. I met Cinco once in Philly, but I saw them on the Challenge USA. So I was like, okay, these people come from this season. I liked them on the Challenge USA, so let me watch the season. I think episode one, I'm not even gonna say what episode was what. I just know one, I might be merging two different things because I remember a couple of episodes. I saw a couple of episodes of Love Island, and then I also saw a few episodes of The Perfect Match. And my mind, I think, is blending those two things together. Perfect Match I can remember a little more clearly because it was like I think they came onto the show and then they had to decide whether they were going to stay with their original person that they were with or like pick somebody else and then the odd person out had to leave, something like that. I did watch a good amount of I think maybe season 1 of Perfect Match. I felt like that season with Cass, if I'm remembering correctly, I remember there was like a blindfolded kissing competition or something. I was like, what is happening in the world today? um, Love Island. That was the one where there's people that are standing there and then the other people come out and then the girls get a chance to pick which guy that they were interested in. I don't remember. It was just so mind numbing that I can't even clearly remember what happened. I'll check it out, Sapphire. I will check it out. Cash Cinco Olivia season got the show removed from CBS. Love in Paradise. Maybe I watched the wrong season because I couldn't stomach that season, and that was the only season I tried. But I tried that season because I knew people. But also, I mean, the reason I ended up trying Big Brother was because I saw Polly on the challenge, and then people were like, "Oh, Polly has this cooler younger brother that you could tell is like related to him, but he's cooler than him." So I was like, "Oh, let me check out season 16." I love season 16 of Big Brother. Arguably, that might be my favorite season. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'm gonna be on here for like another. Let's round this out to an hour. My time says 46 minutes, but I'm gonna round this out, make this a good hour. I wonder what's happening on the feeds because I actually have not even. There's been so much mindful chatter in the chat that I have not even been paying attention to what's happening. Chelsea's Cam talking. Oh, oh, I got some things to watch when I get off here. Okay. The challenge, Survivor, Traders. Oh, Squid Games is coming back. Not the challenge, but the actual Squid Games original is coming back sometime towards the end of this year. Um, thanks, Cass. I gotta hit the sack. Good night, y'all. Good night, Janet. Season is too long. Season of what? Big Brother? Yeah, I loved Big Brother 16. Squid Games is a good. You need to watch the original and then watch the challenge version of it. First season I heard it was 15 for the bad reasons, and I was like, I'm not watching that. But then 16 came and I watched and enjoyed. I was tired, y'all, but I'm trying to stay this last 10, 12 minutes to make it an hour. Movie. That's what I'm actually thinking of. It wasn't a TV show, was it? It was a movie, yeah. That's what I meant when I said Squid Games, the original. No, but it is coming out later this year. I think it's already filmed. Um, in order of Love Island USA season to watch 6 to Love Games, nothing else, especially Sarah Hyland seasons. Yes, please hit the like button. If you have not done so, subscribe to the channel. By the way, I don't think all the new people that were on here today are still here, but shout out to Natalie and who else? Nash. I think that's y'all first time on the channel. Thanks for joining. If I missed anyone, type it in the comments. Oh, Squid Game is a cool game. I feel like if you like these types of shows, you'll like Squid Game. The original Squid Game, the movie on Netflix, is basically a bunch of people that have financial issues for different reasons are recruited to play this game that they have no idea what the game is. There's no rules. and then they just get taken to this place, and then they figure out the rules as they go along, and it's crazy. I'm not gonna say much more about it for those who haven't watched it. But then they made a it was so popular that they made a TV show version of it with contestants with because the original one was an actual written out movie, and then they turned it into a game show. I think you would like it, Patty. I definitely think that you would add it to your collection. Thanks, Veronica. Thanks for joining. Shout out to my dogs in the chat. Next live, I'm gonna be wearing a fleece, a fake fleece, half zip thing like he always wears. It's about games America would never have. It's yeah, it is a crazy show. I like competitions. Good night, Natalie. Squid Games in a nutshell. Play a game. If you lose, you die on the spot. You win, you're rich. What was this? I watched. I just watched this other show. I can't remember the name of it, but it was another show. It was another Korean show that kind of reminded me of Squid Games a little bit. Not like you win, you die, like you lose, you die type of thing. But it was. I wish I could remember the name, but I just watched it, and it was this show where they all get a floor in a house, and they get like a commissary type of thing where they can buy things. There's nothing in the room, and the higher the floor is, the more money that you earn per day. And then the people on the higher floors started making the people on the lower floors work for them. It was interesting as ever. Some of y'all were watching that. Some of y'all from my Discord. Nah, I think most of my disc cast. What was the name of that show? Eight? That's what it was called. Let me see if I can find it. Netflix. Oh yeah, that is what it was called. The Eighth Show. Look up the Eighth Show on Netflix. If you like Squid Games, you probably would like that show. Thanks, Cass. Squid Games only had one season of the original show, and then they had one season of the challenge show, but both of them are renewed for season two. I think Squid Games, the movie, is coming back sometime in the fall. And I don't know when Squid Games the challenge is coming back, sometime after that. But yeah, look up the eight on Netflix. If you look up the eight on Netflix and then drop a comment on my page and let me know what you think of it. It's quite interesting. Yeah, I got another 6 minutes because I said I was gonna stay for the hour. December. Um, That's a good question, Mary, because I have thought about that too. That is actually a good question because I have said to myself, is this one of those things that it cannot be repeated, that will not be as good the second time around? But I'm giving it a chance. It could be interesting, but sometimes you're right, sequels are terrible. Like the sequel to RoboCop, that's going way back. But I remember how much I loved RoboCop 1, and then I was like, "Oh, RoboCop 2, this is gonna be legit." And then I was like, "This is one of the worst sequels I've ever watched in my life." I'm pretty sure that she's probably talking about the movie. What is HOTD? Yeah, the fall lineup going into the winter lineup. There's a lot of shows that are coming back that I can't wait to see. But anyways, I guess the last thing I'm going to do is just basically finish answering my question where overall I've called this season kind of a slow burn in a way, and it's probably weird to say that because Tucker probably had the entertainment value of like Mama Fee, Izzy, Isom, like Tucker was entertaining enough for 3, 4 different people combined. 3, 4 different entertaining people combined. But overall there hasn't been as big of a drop off because I remember last season when Izzy left, it was just kind of unwatchable. I still like this season with Tucker not there. It's slower. It's definitely slower. It's definitely less interesting, but I like the parts when we finally get to see them talk game. And I do like the fact that we're at this stage in the game, which is pretty much close to the halfway point, if not past the halfway point. I don't know what day we're on exactly, but everybody who's there still has a chance to win. No, I haven't watched House of Dragon. I hope at least one of them gets invited onto that. That would be cool because I know that they're not going to have all three of them. Well, I can't say I know that they're not going to have all three because I don't know how they're going to cast because they did cast three people from one season. We had Cody, Frankie, and Nicole, all from season 16 originally. I loved reindeer games. And especially after such a terrible end to season 25, it's like we needed that as a BB community because the end of the season just dragged and was hard to watch. But reindeer games, that was fun. That was fun and that was light. We got to see Taylor back on the screen. We got to see the return of these legends, Danielle, Brittany. Um, I was gonna name other people, but I decided not to. But I think it was a good cast. I just hope that if they do it this year, they're not gonna pick multiple people from one season. Pick people from all different seasons. Or if you have to have people from the same season, no more than two maximum, and make it people that are not friends. I don't want to see best friends cast on the season because it makes such a huge impact on the game when it's like everything that you do is just based on prior relationships. Prior relationships highly impacted the game. I love that season, Mary. I'm not with you there. I love that season. I love season 16. I love season 10. I love season 6. Um 23, even though a lot of people don't like that season, I love that season. Um I actually liked 24. I was complaining about 24 when it was on, but I liked 24 more than 25. That's for sure. I forgot Josh was on there, actually. And I was so disappointed at how bad Xavier did. Anyway, actually, he didn't do the worst. I mean, he was still there. I think he was there on the final day at the beginning. I think Nicole beat him too. Um, and now I've officially met the whole 23 cast. I had the first people I met from that cast, Big D, Hannah, and Tiffany. And then I think after that, I met Kyland. Who am I missing? Xavier was the last one I met. Who am I missing here? Big D, Big D, Tiffany, Hannah. The sixth person is slipping my mind. I don't know why. But then I also met a bunch of I met basically the whole Big Brother 23 cast. I met like Brittany, um, what's his name? Brett. I can't remember. Oh, Azza. I don't know why I would forget Azza. I didn't meet Claire. I didn't meet Claire or DX because they have never been to any of these events that I've been at. But I've met like 80% of the Big Brother 23 cast. I don't know why I wouldn't remember Azza when she's one of the ones that I know the most out of Azza and Hannah are the two that I know that I've spoken to the most. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me again. Please make sure like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let me know what you think of the season in the comments. Let me know who you want to win. Let me know who you want to see get evicted this week. And we will talk again in the near future. You thought I was going to say soon, but I threw you a curveball.
What sense does that make? The math is not mathing.
Good night.
You are now tuned in to Mindful Reality, the channel that covers reality TV from a mental health perspective.
What's up, family? It's Mimi from Big Brother Season 25, and you are now tuned in to Mindful Reality with Mark. I need for y'all to stop what you're doing and make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe because the math ain't mathing, okay?